All right, the squat and the squat jump, a very basic exercise, but because it's a bit of a staple and a basic exercise, quite often people will do it on automatic pilot, so you're not necessarily doing it to maximum benefit. Primarily, or the primary muscles you're working with a squat are fronts of thighs, your quads, your hamstrings on the way down, quads mostly on the way up, but also your glute muscles on the way up as long as you sit low. Fundamentally, the squat is just a sitting movement, so all we're looking to do is load up the weight on the heels, keep head and chest up, that's the key thing. Sit as low as you can, clench the bum cheeks and drive up through the heels. The lower you get, because your glutes are a hip extender, so bringing you up from a bent position, the lower you get, the more work you're going to get through the glute muscles. If you're only going halfway, you're not really activating your glutes, and this is what we really need to be working on for posture as well as aesthetics. So keep chest and head up as much as possible, sit low and drive through heels and glutes to come up. One of the other common problems that people do when they squat is they don't, as well as not going low enough, is they tend to face downwards and look down. So what you're doing there is really putting emphasis onto the hip flexors. Problem here is, if you've got a sat down job as well, you're going to be shortening the hip flexors further. Problem with this is, it will anteriorly tilt the pelvis if you do it over time, as well as the sitting position. So not only will it tilt your pelvis forward, but it will bring your belly forward. So what we're talking about here is if you can do it with a good range, head and chest up, you're going to take a lot of the work off the hip flexors, which will bring you upright a lot more, which will bring your stomach in. Bonus. As I say, if you're looking down all the time and working like that, you're putting a lot of work through the hip flexors. So you're just going to shorten them further, which will tilt the pelvis further, which will stick your belly out, and it can lead to lower back pain. So even more of a reason when you squat, when you jump squat, to keep head, chest up and sit low. So get there, push up, and really focus on driving up through the back side and not through the front side. Exactly the same for the jump squat, drop down, drive up through the heels, and again, get low. The more power is going to come through the glutes and hamstrings, the lower you get. As opposed to just like a hop, where everything there is working your thighs. So really focus, as per normal, full range of motion, get as low as you can, get upright, and really focus on the posterior side of the body to bring yourself upwards.